Hello and welcome to a new video in my colour series of videos. I'm currently working through a project where I am trying to create more confidence with using colour in my work, and I want to share this process with you, hence why I started this colour series. So today I want to chat to you about this amazing book and kind of diving deeper into colour and the colours that I'm using. First of all, I want to show you kind of what's inspired this. So in this large sketchbook, I did this spread. This was one of the last spreads that I did. And I just love the idea of building up layers and layers of colour, just using watercolour or Neocolor 2's kind of colour washes, and then using coloured pencil over the top and getting all these gorgeous kind of layers and things that are going on in here. This is really kind of brought to the surface that I really don't know much about colour, and I love the idea of delving deeper into how colour works, what makes colours pop, how I can layer colours together, and just kind of expand my understanding and my daily use of colours. Colour is something I have quite often veered away from because I've been too scared to use it, and sometimes I will actually draw out something like a design or a face or something like that, and then I'll be too afraid to start colouring it in, so it will be left as a black and white image. Anyway, I have started a new colour sketchbook, which is this one. This is one of my new Pith sketchbooks. Already you can see it's quite well used. So the idea in here, very much inspired by this, is to just splurge loads of colour on the page and use it as an experiments book. You will have seen this already, me swatching things, but yeah, just splurging colours down and trying not to be too precious about it, and then thinking about how I can layer drawings on top. And I have kind of started, but already I can feel myself pulling back because I'm not really kind of understanding the depth of the colour ranges that I'm using. I think also I want to become more familiar with the colours that I already have, hence I've been swatching lots of my colours in all my different mediums as well, so like Inktense blocks, I've got my water soluble pencils here, Neocolors. Anyway, I thought we would dive into this. So, oh yeah, this is very much something that has inspired a lot of this project work as well, and the idea of just letting myself play. These were literally just a scrap of paper and I put white dots on it, and can you see here the amazing texture that's built up just by simple, very simple couple of paint splats. This is the type of colour work that I want to emulate in my work. Just kind of almost effortless use of colour, and how just you can create really interesting textures by layering different colours up. I know that's kind of monochrome, but anyway, that's kind of the thought behind this. So I do keep it tucked in here as a reminder. So first of all, before we dive into this book, I want to show you just a basic colour wheel. So if I get this out the way. So one of the things I've done is just bought myself a colour wheel, and in the end I bought two because as amazing as this is, and we'll get into this as to sectioning out different colours and so how we can then pick our complementary colour, this is such a fantastic tool of like kind of the colour range you can use, and then different colours that will help you to make these colours pop and come alive. You've also got kind of tones in here, so if you're adding in white or if you're adding in darks. You've also got on the back here this which shows you if this is the colour you've got and you add some yellow, this is the colour you'll get. So this is great, and there's also the values here as well. So these are really, really handy, but I really wanted to be able to see kind of all the colours at once, and mainly so that I can have a look at the work I'm already doing and see where I'm pulling colours from. So I bought two, and I literally ripped this front section off this one. So this is really helpful to be able to kind of see the whole spectrum in one go. So these are my colour wheels, which we will be getting onto, but I just wanted to show you inside this amazing book. So this is Palette Perfect. This is one of the only colour books that I have, so I'm not saying that this is the best, I'm just saying that this is the one that I've been using, and you can kind of tell how much I love it, even though I feel like I'm really kind of at the beginning of my colour journey. I've got tabs here, I've got tabs here, washi tape tabs, I've got masking tape tabs here, so I've flicked through this quite a lot. So if I show you kind of how this book works, so we've got all these different sections for different colour palettes, but it actually starts off talking about colour theory. So if you want to kind of get the basis of colours, warm colours, cool colours, all of this is in here, and it's really, really interesting. We then kind of get onto our colour wheel here, so the more in-depth of how you kind of layer colours as well and how they blend together, which again is really helpful for my layering of my materials. Talking about contrast, so again this is kind of value and having those real darks and real lights. And here we've got the colour wheel, so this is what very much inspired me to get one of these, is to just help me to get used to kind of how the colours have a relationship to each other, so which ones are close, which ones are opposite. Really helpful. Then you can go into all the depths here of how colours are used by other artists, and that's kind of the overview. So that was really interesting. But the thing I really love about this book, and I think, yeah, we've got these tabs here at the end, so these are kind of a nice little reference here to show you kind of the types of colour palettes that you'll find throughout the book. This is actually the thumbnail reference for like the credits, so the photo credits, but this is really nice. So say we want to have a look at, say, this image, page 115, we can have a look straight in here, page 115 if I can find it, here, and then it gives us the colour palette. So what I love about this book is that they're very simple colour palettes. If we start at the beginning, so where we're going straight into the natural section. You've got these really lovely, just a few colours, nice colour palettes, and it's a really nice starting point. You're not kind of overcomplicating things, just keeping things really simple. It's also, if you're going into print and you're using the computer, you've got the CMYK and the RGB codes there, so you can get the exact colours if you wanted to actually work with this palette. But I love the idea that then we can have a look on here. So we've got lots of our greens, we've got a nice neutral, and then can you see we've got a pink. So maybe it's almost more of this orangey colour. So you can see how we're kind of working within this spectrum here, and then you've got your accent on the other side. So this is really, really helpful to have a look through here. Obviously the natural section is more of our neutrals, so we can then jump forwards. What have we got here? A dreamy one. So these are kind of a few more brights in here. So we've got more yellows, oranges and pinks. So again, it's a really nice starting point if you don't really know where to start with colour. So again, here we've got sort of this spectrum here, oranges, pinks and purples in there. So it's really helpful to have a look at how the colours kind of relate to each other. I love as well, most of these palettes have a light, a dark, and then you've got mid-tones. So again, that's going to help give you depth to your work. So these are really fun to sort of pull these out as a colour palette and then have a test with these. So with each section, we're in the Dreamy section, you start off like this with some photographs that are inspiration, and then it shows you the colour palette. And then towards the back, you've got a full few pages actually like this of colour palettes, and it gives you proportions as well. So this is quite a fun thing to do. So for example, here you've got mainly the purple and mainly the mint, and then you've got a little bit, so maybe your outline of your drawing is in this deep burgundy colour. So just really interesting to see how the colours work together. So again, you've got a tiny little bit of pink there, the mint and the kind of dark purple. So if we move on again, fresh. So fresh is the more bold and bright colours. So this might be more typical of some of the work that I've been doing. I love pinks and blues together, so this is perfect for me. So we've got sort of more of the blues and a bit of the sort of minty green, and then you've got the accent on the other side, which is possibly in here. So a peachy colour or a pinky colour. So for me, I think this is where I naturally seem to work, within the blues and greens and then a pink and a peach. So again, it's really nice though, because I've got so many materials now which are in the kind of colours that I'd normally reach for, that it can become overwhelming. So I love the idea of just being able to pick out, say, 3 or 4 materials, or pencils even, just stick to pencils maybe, and just have a play on the page with those colours. So again, really nice. You've got a dark there, a light there, and 2 of your mid-tones. This was the image we already looked at. So yeah, flicking through. So we're in the solitude, so the more kind of dark and moody kind of colour palettes here. We go into the romantic, which again for me is fantastic because I love pinks. Red is not something I usually tend to go for, so it kind of pushes me out of my comfort zone, because red is really a dark pink, isn't it? Or pink is a light red, so yeah, I tend to go towards the pinks. But I really love these almost golden, like orangey colours as well, like umbers that are coming through. So again, like loads of hot pink type things, really beautiful, and using them with orange and the light. So this is really interesting, and it's such a feast for the eyes. And as someone that loves going into nature as well, there's plenty of nice kind of natural colour palettes as well. We've got this one here, lots of greens in the Mysterious, but towards the back, is it this one? In the Lush, we've got a few kind of greens and pinks again, greens and reds. So again, if we look here, this is really reminding me that sort of all these natural colours here, or even yellowy greens, the opposite tends to be the red or the pink. So yeah, really interesting. And here, look, lots of beautiful green palettes here and here. Nice oranges are in here as well, or pale, a nice pale pink is a really nice accent, almost a peachy colour to go with the green. So this is a really, really fun place to start, and I just love flicking through this. And I do find that it depends on the mood that I'm in on the day. Like this today looks so gorgeous to me, just really simple. A nice orangey yellow, a really nice blue, and then a nice sort of off-white colour. And that's a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. And I think as well it would be nice to then see, so what have we got here? So here we've got orange, kind of minty blues there. And then if we've got a similar, you could start sort of combining them. So for example, you've got this orange and this really pale pink, and then you've almost got the same pale pink there with a deeper orange, but you've got these burgundies. So once you start getting more confident with the smaller palettes, you could see what kind of links together. So yeah, when you've got a similar colour, you could then pull in a few more colours. What else have I tabbed here? Oops. This one as well. So again, you've got the orange and pinks with like a purpley colour. So yeah, just really fascinating. And again, just to look at where things sit on the colour palette. So we've got, say, like this deeper kind of orange here, which is in the dark section. We've got this really pale minty colour, which is probably right here out on the light section. And then you've got your mid-tones in here. These might even be lights, but or brights there. So yeah, really, really interesting, and just really fun to see kind of where they lie on the colour palette. What I really want to do now is just pick a few of these and use my coloured pencils. I've literally got my entire pack of pencils here. Just pull out a few of my favourite ones and just swatch these in my new colour book. And yeah, this is just kind of preliminary play, and just to kind of get to grips with what colours work together well. There's no right and wrong with colour as well, just so you know. Like, these are not the hard and fast rules. This is just inspiration, and it's really nice to kind of see how these work in the real world as well. So just taking photographs when you're out and about is quite fun to then pull all the colours out of that afterwards and kind of dissect it. So that might be something I do this week as well, is take some photos whilst I'm wandering about and see what colour palettes I can make out of those. See how beautiful this one is. Really gorgeous. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. So let's get my sketchbook.
maybe that's the closest.
Okay, so as you can see, I've just been pulling some colours together from all of these, and it's actually quite overwhelming once you get all of your colours out, because it's not always obvious from the colour swatch here as to what colour it's going to come out on the page. So I'm quite tempted to actually make some little thumbnail colour swatches, but I think I'll leave that for our next video. But yeah, as you can see, I've had a little play around here with trying to find similar colours. So here, and then finding what I think is the closest ones that I've got. So then these would be quite fun to kind of do a drawing with and just see how I get on. I've also used this palette here. So this one, again, trying to find like the pinks and purples and this sort of greyish purple, so that was the closest that I could find there. And this other one, which was the first in the naturals. So this one, I found it really hard to find a green that was the right colour. That's why I feel like if I had a little swatches of every single thing that I have, it would be easy to pull things together. So in the next video, that's what we're going to be looking at, pulling together palettes using our swatch cards. So I hope you found this inspiring, and I hope you look forward to more videos from our colour series as we learn more about colour together, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Lots of love. Bye.